Welcome back, everybody. Muffin tops, love handles, no matter how sweet the name is. It doesn't make the fat around our bellies any more attractive. Allie Miller, registered dietitian, here to talk about foods that will slim our waistlines. I find it curious that my producer picked me to do this segment. I just got back from vacation. I put on a couple of pounds. We won't go there. Okay, Allie, let's first. I'm actually very interested in what you have to say. Let's first talk about the weight that a person carries around their waist. I mean, that could be an indicator of a bigger health issue, right?
Absolutely. So beyond being unattractive in that area, we look at.
You talking to me?
Of course not. No. Beyond fat not being very appealing visibly, it puts us at a higher risk for different diseases. Type 2 diabetes, heart disease are two of the main ones. And then we look at things like metabolic syndrome and different autoimmune conditions.
Why do people store fat in different areas? You mentioned, I mean, a lot of people obviously have it in the belly. Some people get it in their thighs or hips or ankles even. I mean, why the different spots?
Sure. So there's two different body types. There is, we call it the apple body type versus the pear body type. And it's the android versus the gynoid. Women and men could both be apple body type, and that puts us at higher risk. We tend to have a higher waist circumference, where the other type of body fat, which is in the pear shape, is more in the hips or thighs. That puts us at a little bit of a less risk. So when I look at my patients, we actually do a waist to hip ratio to calculate that. So you take your waist and divide it by your hip circumference as a measurement, and 0.8 is an indication of risk for women, 0.9 is an indication for men. Okay,
interesting. I never heard of that. You say there's actually a better type of fat as well, right? What do you mean by that?
Right. So another thing that we can do in my practice, actually, we run a bioelectrical impedance analysis. It sounds kind of fancy. So it's called a BIA for short, and it runs these electrical impulses through your body that can tell us of your body weight, how much of it is muscle mass, how much of it is fat mass, where the fluid is stored in your body. And that really gives us a higher predicament of your disease risk. And then of the fat types, there's the stuff you can pinch, which is the subcutaneous fat. Although that's the unattractive one, that's actually less risk for disease. The visceral fat, which is kind of like the, you see it in men often where they have like the basketball belly and it's still firm to touch. They have that visceral fat where the fat is actually closer to their organs, so they're at higher risk.
That's more about fat than I ever thought I could know. Let's get to a little cooking, because there are 5 foods, as I teased, that should be in your pantry that'll speed up your metabolism and maybe help you lose a few of those pounds around the belly. What do you got?
Absolutely. Then we're going to put a recipe to put it all together. Beans are a big one. And so I have here some lentils that I'm going to use later for a Mediterranean lentil dish.
Is it specifically have to be lentil beans or any beans?
No, it could be kidney beans, black-eyed peas, black beans. The thing with beans, those compounds, those high fiber compounds actually help to metabolize and slow down the breakdown of sugars, which is the fat storage in our body.
Let's just start cooking as you're showing us what we got here.
The next one I have is milk, and you actually want to use a milk with fat in it. Because,
so not skim milk.
Right. The actually reduced fat or whole milk has the CLAs, which help to boost our metabolism and increase lean body mass.
I didn't know that. I drink skim milk thinking that it's better.
So you could save those 20 calories and actually burn more fat. Then we have olive oil as well. Those monounsaturated fats help to boost metabolism. And that's going to go in my recipe. So I have my lentils for my Mediterranean dish. I've cooked those just boiled in water. I have 3 tablespoons of a red wine vinegar with some chopped basil and garlic. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of a local olive oil. This is from Texas Hill Country, and you can actually adopt a tree. So this is a Gordy family olive oil, which is pretty neat.
And you've also got the tuna.
So tuna doesn't go in this recipe, but the omega-3s in the tuna help to boost your metabolism, can actually burn an additional 400 calories a day.
Yeah, fish is great for you in general.
Absolutely. And the slipjack is lower in mercury. And then anything red, so the lycopene and the red compounds help to boost metabolism and help to do more of the healthy fat storage in the body. Decreases that visceral fat, as I mentioned before. So in this recipe, I have the lentils that I've tossed in the vinaigrette, which was the basil, garlic, red wine oil, and the olive oil. And then all we're going to do is just toss in our lycopene-rich tomatoes, some chopped artichoke hearts, some olives, and some sliced scallions. And I have it paired here on top of some fresh arugula.
I feel healthier just looking at it. Allie Miller, we appreciate it. Again, you can get this recipe for the Mediterranean lentil salad at HoustonTexasFood.com. Allie Miller, we appreciate your insight. Great stuff as always.
Thank you.